So, today we are talking about the year of the snake and why this year is really a prime portal for activation, particularly relating to how you are stepping further into your authenticity, because many of us have been noticing that authenticity is this topic that is, yes, being spoken about, but it's really being felt more than anything else, because it is very much what we are desiring, each and every one of us, not only to experience in others, but to also experience within ourselves. So, this is why authenticity has become such a, yes, largely discussed topic in a sense, but it is very much about us also stepping deeper into our authenticity for just our overall experience of happiness and joy as we move through reality. So, covering we are going to be covering what authenticity means in the upcoming year, how it relates to the symbology of the snake, in addition to the various other themes that will be discussed. So, connecting to the energy of this upcoming year, recognizing that we are closing out a cycle where, yes, it was the year of the dragon and very much the energy of initiation. That is what the energy, the medicine of the dragon represents. It is that birth through the fire. It is that energy of being transformed through trauma in a very powerful way. There is that aspect with also the snake, but when we are talking about dragon energy, it is more powerful, more potent, obviously more fiery. So, this is the cycle that we are closing out. And for many of you, you could have entered various portals of death and rebirth in a very strong way, which was basically your initiation. So, if you desire to reflect on the past 12 months, you can see what all of the portals of initiation allowed you to create wisdom through, because all of it is a lesson and all of it is wisdom that we are accumulating to ensure that we are having our desired experience of reality. So, with the year of the snake, this authenticity, and it is both the external and the internal symbology of the snake. So, in terms of the external symbology of the snake, it is quite obvious in the sense that it is the shedding. When the snake sheds its skin, it is due to the outgrowing. So, for everybody, nature energy requires movement, it requires expansion. And when you are not expanding, when you are staying stagnant, toxicity is building up and it ends up suffocating you in many aspects. So, with the expansion comes the natural shedding. If you look at a snake, if you pull the skin off too early, that, yes, is being shed, but if you pull it off too early, it is very painful for the snake and it can also damage the skin of the snake. So, it is not about necessarily ripping off the band-aid, as some people think is the solution to what they are going through. And that's not to say that there isn't a time and a place for that. But what we are referring to is the natural, inevitable process of shedding the past, shedding the previous versions of yourself, which you may experience very viscerally, for example, in, let's say, a very transformative meditation. You may literally see the old version of yourself being shed as the new version of yourself is birthed. So it is about embracing the inevitable falling away of what no longer belongs to you, and if you can, releasing it with love, releasing it with appreciation, understanding that this is who you were. You did the best that you could with what you were given, even if it was not to the degree that you desired at the time, but you did the best that you could. And so having that love for yourself, and this is how you step further into authenticity in this empowered way. So this is the exploring the external symbology of the snake and how it can be used in various points throughout the year when you are finding difficulty in letting go. Because when something is truly meant to be released, to fight that is going to cause a lot of unnecessary suffering for yourself. And that is the stagnant energy we are talking about. So what we want is for you to not be afraid to release what needs to be released, especially when it becomes obvious that it needs to really be released at that time. So trusting the process, trusting the shedding process, the expansion process, the growing process that you are constantly going through, but you can particularly tap into during the energy of the year of the snake. So some of the messages that came through, which I will just read to make sure I'm covering everything. But what is intuitively coming in is the shedding of anything that does not allow us to be in our most authentic state. So, yes, of course, it is the shedding of what no longer is serving you, but it is also the shedding of anything that does not allow you to exist in your state of authenticity. Authenticity is the most powerful vibration for you to exist in as a being. So, let's say, as a being here in this aspect of reality, authenticity is the most powerful vibration. So, when you want to mold reality to what you desire to experience, when you are in your authentic state, you by default will have a better experience of reality. So, very much releasing anything that does not allow you to be in your most authentic state. If you have fear around this, you simply acknowledge that fear first and foremost. If you have fear around stepping into, or let's say, if you have fear around being your authentic self, acknowledging that fear first and foremost, saying to yourself, yes, I understand I have this fear. Yes, I am scared about showing the world my true self, showing those around me my true self, but I'm going to do it regardless. And that first step of acknowledging the fear is very much the parent-child dynamic in the most, let's say, optimal state. So when you acknowledge the fear you have, that is the gentle releasing. When you are not acknowledging the fear and you are going ahead, that is where it starts to create fragmented energy. So if you do not want the fragmented energy created as you are stepping into your more authentic and loving self, we strongly suggest, first and foremost, acknowledging with honesty and reverence for yourself what you are authentically feeling. For some of you, this is preparation for the cross of the sleeping phoenix, which will be occurring in 2027. So it is all about the authenticity. So if you allow yourself to move with this shedding energy in order to come deeper and deeper into your authenticity, then upon the entering of the cycle of 2027, the 400-year cycle that will begin, it is preparing you for that. Some of us were reborn through the fire, and it's time to celebrate how far you have come, how difficult it has been for you, the version of you that has been born through the fire with the dragon energy that has been closed out or is being closed out. Celebrate yourself. This is how you come into more powerful self-authenticity. This is how you celebrate us, celebrate you as we celebrate you. With each chapter you enter, you shed the old skin, not through pain, but through natural release, because it has had time to mature and painlessly fall off. So again, when something is truly ready to be released, you may have attachment to it, but you understand that this is truly what is needed. So that is the maturing phase that is being highlighted here with the energy and symbology of the snake shedding its skin. And the snake symbolizes a lot of power. It symbolizes that primal power, that, yes, we can say raw power, but it is more of a primal, wise, ancient power. It is this ancient wisdom, which we will be talking about when we discuss the internal symbology of the snake. But very much understanding that the snake is a symbol of power, and it is the transmutation process, as one of the cards was brought up in the last reading for the Aquarius new moon, which of course falls on today, because the Lunar New Year is typically the first new moon of the year, of the calendar year. And so today is the Aquarius new moon, and the transmute card, number 44, I believe, is what came out in the reading for the Aquarius new moon, which is the image of the snake. So the transmutation aspect, understanding that it is your power. Your power is your divine birthright. So if you have felt as though you have not been able to be in your power, this is the invitation to step into that, because of course being in authenticity is to a degree being in a state of power, but it is more of a natural self-sustaining state of power as opposed to one that is gained by dominating others. So we will now explore the internal symbology of the snake. What do we mean when we are referring to the internal symbology? Very simply, we are referring to the Kundalini, which each and every being has. The wisdom of the Kundalini, for many, it has been dormant since birth. When it is awakened, it is the natural navigation system for moving through the world, moving through reality, understanding what is in resonance in greater capacity. So, this internal symbology of the snake, which is the divine serpent, the Kundalini is the divine serpent. And so, for many of you wanting a more empowered experience in reality, for many of you wanting to feel completely sovereign in your experience in reality, it is going to come through the integrated and embodied activation of your Kundalini. The chakra points are psychic portals in their own right. Just as the mind is able to process information, just as the gut is able to also process information and help you decide what action to take, each energy center has its own intelligence. But it is something that has to be given energy towards. So, very simply put, anything you are focusing on, you are placing your attention on, you are giving energy towards. If you are constantly focusing on the outside world, you are pouring energy into the outside world. And then you are expecting it to give you energy back because you have been pouring your energy into it. So, to experience your Kundalini, you are being invited by your higher selves to connect with your energy centers, to have the energy flowing optimally so that the Kundalini can travel. And this is how you start to feel alive. When you are not feeling alive in reality, regardless of your circumstances, it is because you are existing more in the material realm. But you are not simply matter. Yes, your physical body consists of matter, but your energetic body, your astral body, your emotional body, all of these other bodies are playing a part. It is not just the physical body. So, if you want to have a more empowered, more enjoyable experience of reality, it is about amplifying the other bodies. And the chakra system is one of the I'm thinking of the word empowering, but it's not really empowering. It's holding the most potential, let's say. So the chakra system has a lot of potential if you want to be navigating reality in this more empowered way. Which connects to what I was saying about power at your core. It is not just a figure of speech, but it is very much the divine serpent that runs within you that may just be dormant. So when you awaken that divine serpent that is feeding you knowledge, that is giving you wisdom from other realms, that is your actual power. And that is your actual, that is what brings you true abundance. Because your true abundance lies in your energy. It lies in your capacity to be the eternal creator and source being the eternal supplier. This is the true meaning of co-creation. So when your Kundalini is active, you are able to be deeper into the state of being the divine creator and and co-creating with the divine. So, and this is where you will start to understand the rainbow frequency in further depth, because of course the chakra points, it is not that they have specific assigned colors necessarily, because certain individuals may see the colors as different to others. So we are not here to say that, yes, the root chakra is most certainly red and the sacral chakra is most certainly orange. But what we are saying is, through the activation of the Kundalini, it is opening you up to the rainbow frequency, which is the frequency of authenticity, in the sense that it is you have all of your facets active. You are not censoring yourself. You are not cutting yourself off in any capacity. You understand that at your core, you are this channel for your own authenticity, which is the message that has been coming through. So being the channel for your own authenticity, for those of you that are desiring this and really picking up on this, the next 12 months are going to be this activation portal. So starting to work with your Kundalini is going to be incredibly beneficial for those of you wanting to step into this further. Additionally, in terms of astrology, we have Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, and Jupiter changing signs. So these are the outer planets, which means they spend more time in the astrological signs than Mercury, Venus, Mars. Particularly Neptune and Uranus, they are what we can refer to as generational planets, because their orbits typically take a minimum of 10 years, more or less. And so they are moving from earth signs, if we are correct, into fire and air signs. So it is different energy, fire and air. It is the combination, fire and air, can be explosive at times, but it is also the energy of the catalyst. And some of you need the energy of the catalyst to push you into your authentic self. Some of you need that explosion, that dynamite. So with the generational planets, with the outer planets, Saturn and Jupiter, Neptune, Uranus, coming into these different energies that they have not been in for quite some time, it is very much shaking things up. You can think of it as a volcano erupting in some capacity, but it is to birth you. It is not to burn you. It is not to cause destruction. It is not to cause trauma. It is your time. It is, if you relate to the imagery of the tower card in the tarot, the tower is collapsing regardless. The lightning bolt is hitting the tower. And so the couple have to jump. That is what this energy of fire and air is bringing to many of you, the releasing of the generational patterns that have to be released because you are bringing in the new energy for your lineage, for your legacy that you are going to leave behind, and you are designing it in your own way. You are not giving into the false sense of pressure that has allowed to be that has been allowed to be carried up until this point by those that came before you. So this may be a significant layer that you are shedding that has already begun with Pluto moving into Aquarius, the air sign again. Capricorn, Pluto in Capricorn was very difficult. So it is this new energy. And yes, we are just reconfirming for star seeds, it is further activation, it is further acknowledgement, it is further stepping into your star seed signature, which is your authentic self. For many star seeds, this is one of the key pieces that allows them to be free in their experience, because many star seeds, when they haven't acknowledged this aspect of themselves, they do not feel free, and they don't always understand why they don't feel free. So this aspect is for many one of the missing pieces, and it is always pointing towards authenticity. So this new energy, this fire and air, is really going to be a wonderful, powerful catalyst to bringing all of you into your greater sense, your greater presence of authenticity. With the symbology of the mirror, it is truly looking at yourself and the parts of yourself that you have not wanted to perhaps face, but understanding there is great power in that, and allowing yourself to simply transmute through that. The more you can transmute, the more you build up your capacity as the master conscious manifester. I'm just going to see if there are any other messages that want to come through before I start with the card reading. Source is saying to allow yourself to be happy, to separate your happiness being contingent upon what you are seeing in the matrix, understanding that, as always, you have the capacity to build your own matrix, which is what came through for the Aquarius new moon. So it really is about building the new matrices and not from the old ways. Pluto in Aquarius, Aquarius new moon, it's very much new energy, new insights, expansion, and really doing things in a new way, completely in every aspect. It's about building things in entirely innovative ways and not questioning yourself so much, really trusting yourself. Even if it feels different, it doesn't matter. If it feels good to you, if it resonates with you. This is what Source is saying about allowing yourself to be happy. It's also about coming into resonance with yourself, which is why authenticity is really the key, because authenticity is when you are truly in harmony with all facets of yourself. You're not just focused on love. You're not just focused on light. You are embracing the full spectrum of yourself as the multidimensional being. And so when you are focusing more on what is in resonance, that is what true happiness is, in a sense, because things in the physical, they come and they go. The wave collapses into the particle, back into the wave. So nothing is ever fixed. But your resonance can be the permanent state. And that's what you're cultivating. So that is what Source is wanting, is saying, is meaning by saying, allow yourself to be happy, allow yourself to be in resonance with the truth of you, which is your uniqueness, celebrating your uniqueness. When Source sees an individual that is resonating in the truth of who and what they are, even if to others it may look as though they do not fit the matrix requirements, let's say. But when they are in the truth of who they are, even if another individual may not agree with that person's truth, to Source, it is the most beautiful thing. So this is what is meant by allow yourself to be happy, be yourself, because this is the whole point. This is the point of life. This is the point of existence. It is to truly be yourself. This is where true happiness comes from. Much of the unhappiness that is experienced and caused in our realm is largely stemming from individuals not allowing themselves to be themselves for whatever reason. But it is time to let that go, really and truly, because we are in a time where it is safe to be yourself, regardless of what you may see portrayed on the outside. We have been in a time where it has been safe to be our authentic selves for quite some time. So being in it fully is what is important. And knowing that that is the true point in life, that is your purpose in life. So many people are asking, so many people are wanting to be told what their purpose is. And really, we say it is be how we designed you, how you desired to come in to this realm, be this in your greatest extent. This is your purpose. This is your, in some aspects, divine purpose, although divine purpose also has additional meanings. But we will say that being your full authentic self is you in absolute divinity. Make no mistake, because we have not. So we hope this is encouraging for those of you that are feeling lost and wondering why we are not helping you. It is not that we are not helping you. We are simply saying help yourself by taking advantage of the unique features we have given you. So I hope that helps any of you who are, just feeling really stuck, feeling really lost, feeling like, when is life gonna improve? When are things gonna change? When you are your authentic self, every moment is different. Every moment is truly, you are experiencing reality in a more accurate capacity. So I hope that helps those of you that, are feeling just a little bit lost, a little bit down, and might be looking at, the symbology of the snake like, oh, big deal, like it's another year, it's the same thing. I'm seeing the time card. So I don't know if the time card will come up, but I'm seeing the time card again from Guided by Spirit. but maybe it will also come up in the sacred symbols deck. But I'm seeing time. So it's a new time. It's a new time, and it's time to be someone else. It is really time to be you. That's what I'm picking up on. Bottom of the deck, we have seasons, the shedding, right? The cycles, the letting go. And Sonolin coming back. We already know the message of Sonolin, but for those of you that are just tuning in, watching me for the first time, Sonolin, she is divine regalness, and she's saying, don't forget who you are. Don't forget that you are magnificent. Don't forget that you are divine. She's kind of like that really like motherly energy of like, don't, like, that's my baby. Like, my baby is the shit. Like, proud of her child. Like, Sonolin is like that motherly energy that is like, how could you think that you are anything other than the most magnificent thing to exist? So she's reminding us of that. It's like very fierce motherly energy. So let's see what messages want to come up in relation to everything that has been expressed and what is yet to be expressed for the symbology of the snake. Okay, we have patience, but then as I'm looking at the bottom of the deck, I see freedom. So patience, I would say, is like more about having patience with the process, maybe patience with the shedding. You might be like wanting to rush things, being just being impatient with yourself. Maybe just feeling like you're supposed to be further along and you're not. So this is what I'm intuitively picking up on with the patience card. And with freedom, I mean, it's wild freedom, right? It's like the horses running free. You can kind of hear the hooves, and it's just like, just the elements, like nothing else exists. It's just that wild, untamable freedom, not the illusion of freedom that we're kind of fed in society. Like, you get your weekends and all that. It's like, no, 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 no. Like, that is all going. And that is the byproduct of everyone stepping into their authenticity. When everyone, imagining a society where everyone is truly in their authenticity, do you know how powerful of a world that is? Because everyone is being who they are truly meant to be here. And if authenticity is the most powerful vibration, then, I mean, that's it, right? It's like, what else is there? Monty, fire. It's that, like, he's lighting a fire under your arse. He's saying, like, burn away the bridges, burn away whatever's not serving you. Don't be scared to burn. Don't be scared to light the fire. Don't be scared to light your own fire. I'm feeling like the fire in my belly, which in a way is, I'm thinking it's also like the Kundalini energy, right? It's like when you awaken your Kundalini, that's your fire. Uh that's the never-ending source of energy. So Monty is like, yeah, awaken the fire. Awaken the fire of your soul. Maybe paying attention also to which of the outer planets will be in the fire sign. Okay. Shackles and shadow and light, which has been coming up like quite a few times in the past readings. So, because they came out together, is very much like what you are scared to transcend holds you down. If you want to transcend, if you want to free yourself, you have to let go of the fear. And what I always say with this card is, how are you defining good and evil for yourself? Because society defines good and evil for us, right? Society is like, oh, this is good, this is bad. But the matrix is filled with hypocrisy because it's artificial at the end of the day, and it's artificially kept up. So this whole thing of good and evil is one of the signature matrix false polarities. So how are you divided by the false representation of what is good and evil? You have your barometer for empathy, and you have your kundalini. These are your internal, and you also have other aspects that allow you to navigate reality and decide for yourself what is good and what is bad, because it's what comes into resonance. So freeing yourself from the fragmented results of believing this man-made polarity of good versus evil, because it really is about transcending that, and that's how you become free. When you are free within yourself, when you are moving from the place of your own moral compass, this isn't about just doing what you want. We're not talking about that. But what we are saying is, when you are basing things more off the resonance, as opposed to what is just arbitrarily fed to you as the status quo, that's how you are free. That's how you're truly sovereign. So it's also in a sense taking responsibility for yourself. But ultimately, yes, freeing yourself from the shackles of what is good and what is evil. Because the matrix will want you to believe that one thing is good and one thing is bad. Not all that is dark, not all that is light is good, and not all that is dark is bad. And that's up to you to find out for yourself. That's how you are a truly sovereign player in the matrix. I don't want to say player in the matrix, but that's how you are truly sovereign agent within the matrix. Because Neo, he transcends the matrix, but he goes through it. He doesn't escape it. So it's not about escapism. It's about transcendence. But first through the integration. When you integrate the shadow and light within yourself, then you transcend darkness. And because it's upside down, you've done a lot of shadow work. So because you've done a lot of shadow work, that's been your way to come into this new chapter. And you might realize later in this year the results of the shadow work. It may not be so obvious right now, but it may give you some hints as to what you're experiencing. Okay, we have Spark coming up again. Fanning the spark, the small flame, so that it can become that long burning fire to really sustain you. Your spirit guides are protecting you. They're fanning that small spark so that it can grow. So you may feel a bit delicate or you may feel as though it's been ignited and you're ready to go. "2025 might be giving you that spark back, or it may be giving you a new spark. Only you will be able to tell. And it could be the spark that you're really desiring to give you freedom, the freedom that you're really wanting to experience. Sometimes it just takes a spark, like a spark of an idea, or yeah, just something. I really want to see if the time card comes up. Okay, we have illuminate. And this is, it's difficult to see it on the screen, but it has different colors. It almost has like the rainbow frequency. So things are going to be illuminated further for you. You're going to step into this new light of yourself, is what I'm seeing. Very much you are the light in the tunnel, and you understand that. And everything that has happened has been to create the light. It's like the spark and illuminate. Like what has begun as a spark turns into all of this light. And it's you. You are the light. By transcending everything that has sought to divide you and have you be fragmented within yourself, this new light is born. Because of course it's energy at the end of the day. And it's like this new light is like the new version of you. Like completely different version of you. Entities. Take that as you will. I'm gonna see if there's anything else to go with that right now. What is being conveyed with the entities card? Like what I'm seeing intuitively with the entities is like, don't let the shadows, don't let yourself believe that the shadows are stronger than you, or that they even have any power over you. Because again, it's like if you are the light, the shadows fear you at the end of the day. When you go into a dark room and you turn the lights on, like, so just remember that you are stronger than any of these entities. So Charles Water, because I wanted a spirit guide to come after the entities card, so I'm glad to see Charles of Water. And what I'm kind of seeing like is the washing away. You know how like water just like it can be such a force and just like literally just wash everything away. So it's like you are stronger. You are so much more powerful than these entities. So don't ever believe or think that they have any power over you. And if you ever feel that way, you can just call on Charles to also like purify you, purify your field. So we have wisdom and power, which is interesting because they both have snakes. So, I mean, the obvious thing is to, tie this to the year of the snake. But it's just interesting to see these two, right? Because it's like, I never see them come out together in a reading. And it's like, they always felt like the counterparts to each other. And it's like you have the feminine energy here, the masculine energy here. And when I see this, I kind of think of the apple in the garden and that story that has been fed to us, which is not very accurate, which is which has basically perpetuated the story of people fearing their own internal wisdom, right? And knowing that there's power in that. So that is your divine birthright. And in a way, it's like marrying the two, marrying the divine wisdom, the feminine wisdom, let's say, with the masculine power, but uniting them both. One, they each need each other. They are the counterparts to one another. So there's time for wisdom, there's time for power. So I actually really like seeing these two cards together. Maybe for some of you that were born in the year of the snake, you're going to find your counterpart that is also a snake, and the two of you will complement each other really, really well. I'm going to see if any other cards want to come through before I move on to the Sacred Symbols deck. Okay, so the last card we have is Seasons again. So yeah, it's just a reminder. It's a reminder that you are entering a new season, you're entering a new cycle, and it is time to descend. You may be really invited to do some shadow work during this time. Snake energy is good for shadow work because at the end of the day, it is the transmutation of everything that has to be transformed, has to be changed. So bottom of the deck for Sacred Symbols is Past Life 14. And I just see like intuitively just like really releasing the past, like really allowing the past to be the past and seeing where you are holding yourself shackled to the past. And just understanding that it's all wisdom. It always comes down to wisdom at the end of the day. What is the wisdom that you've taken from the past lives, from the past versions of you? Okay, well, we have meditate 40. So you might be encouraged to start meditating, which will actually help you to connect with your chakra system, like I was saying, and to awaken your Kundalini. So maybe starting a new meditation practice, or just seeing what meditations really work for you, because there are so many different kinds. And we can kind of think that, oh, meditation is just like this one thing, when really it's not. Like, it's not just about sitting in silence and not thinking. Well, the only card facing up from this is healer. So there might be, I would say this card right now is saying, like, really trust in your capacity to heal the timelines, to bring the healing to whatever the situation is. But yes, with the meditation, it's not just about sitting in silence, not thinking. There are so many different types of meditation, and it's just about finding what works for you, but making it a priority to really put time aside to connect with the unseen realms, and to really experience them, because it's one thing to, theorize all of this. It's another thing to directly experience it, and until you directly experience it, you don't know. It's just what you hear about, what you read, what people say. When you experience it, it's entirely different, and it literally changes everything you thought you knew about reality. We have friendship, so new connections being made, uh, people that you really can be yourself around, the people, like the people. The people that really accept you for who you are, that truly wish the best for you, that truly love you for who you are, that is the real meaning of friendship. So that is what you are calling in, many of you, connecting on a deeper level with each other, because friendship is one of the most beautiful things we can experience here on earth. And remembering that, not settling in your friendships, and believing that friendships can also be healed, because we have the healer card. So you can also heal. Friendships can be healed. It's not just about cutting people out of your life, although of course, if they're not resonating, if you are both not good for each other, then of course let each other go. There's no reason to keep something, there's no reason to keep trying to keep something alive that is clearly not in resonance. But relationships can absolutely be healed, because everything has the same quantum potential at the end of the day. Jealousy, 23. There may be jealousy in certain connections that you have with others. So you may want to explore that. This is also speaking about protection. So calling on this symbol to serve as a protective layer, a protective energetic layer. Okay, this one completely flew out. Air, 28. Things moving quickly, jealousy being released, illusions of jealousy being released. The mind is very fickle. This is why I'm saying meditation is really key, because the mind so easily tricked, and it projects so much. So you really want to be understanding that you are the master of your mind, not the other way around. And this is why we keep coming back to resonance and frequency and vibration, because your heart is what produces the biggest electromagnetic field in your entire body. And so it is all about frequency. That's why the heart is very pure, but the mind is very easily fooled. So meditation is important to be able to start activating the more subtle energies and not just allowing yourself to believe all the trappings and the illusions of your ego, your analytical mind. I'm going to see if there are any last few messages before I close out the reading. Message 33. Look at what is trying to get your attention, the signs, if you will. Whatever has been reoccurring, it's time to pay attention to that. So we have safe travel 30 and death 36. So I would say it's more like, yes, if you are going on a trip or anything you are exploring, it is safe, you are safe, and it is going to open up a lot of new doors for you. It's going to see you step into this version of yourself, this new version of yourself. Maybe this new year is all about traveling for you or exploring. And so, yes, it's very necessary in order for you to release the versions of yourself that really, like, there's nothing there anymore. The skin is ready to be shed. Relief and transmute. So, yes, 44. We see her again. And it's funny because I link these two cards as well, obviously for their shape, but the relief card, the relief and transmute together is like literally saying there is relief after the transmutation. Even if it's a bit painful, the transmutation process, the shadow work, all of that, the relief that comes after that and the illumination that comes after that, I mean, it's what you're deeply craving. So, yes, the energy of the snake being, I would say the Aquarius new moon is significant. So, whatever you are energetically picking up on is also going to be quite important for you in terms of the growth you are going to be going through this year. I'm going to see if any other cards want to come up before I close out the reading. So the energy has felt quite chaotic with this deck. So there may be some chaotic energy that also needs to be transmuted. There may also be more order, more calm energy coming in through transmuting, releasing, which is why it's necessary for you to do that, to stop recreating the patterns of chaos that you may be experiencing and not understanding why you're experiencing them. Divine order is what you want to be creating for yourself. So the last card we have is Earth. So I was saying with when the air card flew out, it's like, yes, also Earth. 1144. Earth. You want to transmute and you want to ground. I'm just going to see what the element is for this year. Okay, so it's the wood snake apparently. But either way, grounding is essential through the transmutation process to make sure all things are integrated and really just exhaled. It's very much that exhaling energy, that relief energy, that relief that you feel when you really finally work through something and you finally understand and you've come into the acceptance. So 37, courage, which is just echoing the spark card. So having the courage, like Monty Fire is coming up again, just having that courage to do it. Just being like, you know what, I'm tired of the way things are. Having that flash of inspiration, that flash of insight, and everything is just super clear. And what was not illuminated before has now been illuminated. But it's this new light that's coming in, which is you. You are the new light that is coming in. It's like that flash is like a hint of the new light that you are. And you are just coming into this version of yourself. Like there's like a lot of, I feel a lot of energy around my crown. So it's like this new energy is coming in. It's like really exciting. So trusting the sparks, and I would say like acting on the sparks. That's what we mean by inspired action. Inspired action, sometimes it just comes in the form of a spark, and it's up to you to take advantage of it, to go through with it. Trusting the power of the spark. And not forgetting that the spark can start the entire fire. Soulmate, 49. So yes, you may be finding your soulmates this year, your significant other, your divine soul partner, whoever you are trying to call in, really wanting to connect with. But really what is coming up for the soulmate card is authenticity. It's about you being really your authentic self. And just knowing that those are the only types of relationships you should be entertaining, that soulmate connection, especially in partnership. Let's see if any other messages come through before I close out the reading. And what is coming through in the soulmate card is like, they see you for you. Like they really see you. They see you in all the ways that you've wanted to be seen. That's what I see with the soulmate card. And now I'm just thinking back to, I'm seeing the healer card again. So it's like, it's healing this aspect of you being seen through the eyes of love. It's like really, really nice energy. Fire, I knew it. I just had a feeling fire would come up. And then affluence, 27 and 5. So we have fire twice. Monty and now this. Fire is like, you know, affluence again, what is it? It's things coming towards you. You are in that state of abundance and things are coming towards you. So action, cleansing, purifying, but also the action. And bottom of the deck, we have divinity, which is you at your core. It is the core of all things. Everything is divine. Even what is deemed evil still has divinity running through at the end of the day. So we hope that this was insightful for those of you watching. This is Source coming in now to just say, yes, remember that you are truly children of the divine. We have designed you this way, and we are always here with you. We are always here for you. We love you deeply, more than you can ever imagine. But you can comprehend our love if you are able to connect into the center of your heart that is forever radiant, forever expansive, and forever pouring out with love. So we thank you for being here with us, and we will see you next time.